but I wanted to talk a little bit about, let's see, the big news. Yet another fake movie being announced by Lucasfilm that probably will never be made. Now, look, one of my subscribers, very rightly so said it's going to be made no matter. Said that there are black pills out there. We can name them. You know who they are. That will say, "Oh, this movie's going to be made." Blah blah blah. They say this for clickbait. That's all that is. It's just clickbait. Okay. Um, you know, we're talking about a group of executives at Lucasfilm that are in a state of flux right now, and let's talk about that now. So Lindelof and woke Pakistani documentarian director Chinoy are basically talking about working on a secret squirrel Star Wars movie. No, they're not. Look, when I looked at that, it wasn't an official release. It was all the rags reported it, but I didn't see any mention of Lucasfilm or Disney saying, yes, we're doing this. Okay. It's almost like someone's putting these people up to it to get people hyped. Hey, Ghost Rider. Oh yeah, it would be a disaster, but let me keep going. It's like somebody's desperate to be relevant anymore. Oh, I saw that. Thank you, just some other guy. I really appreciate it. Again, I don't have everybody's names up, and I'm not one of these people that really likes publicizing everything all the time. I see other channels doing it, and I kind of feel like you guys are private people, and really your contributions are something that you did on your own, and you don't need to have everybody see. You know what I'm saying? Jesus said, don't glorify yourselves. And, this isn't about me. This is about getting the channel set up so it's a counterbalance to everybody. Okay, it's a counterbalance to the black pill and the woke assholes. Okay, which is what we need. Okay, and it's also a counterbalance to the shills. I would even say it's a counterbalance to Star Wars theory, and I respect him. And the reason why is because he doesn't bring people to task. Oh, I know. I mean, that's the thing, just some other guys. So I just want to say how much I appreciate all the help I got for this. I have to talk to my husband about what we're going to do. We're going to probably set up my office with bookshelves, expensive ones that we're buying ourselves. But the equipment actually for the channel, the microphone, the camera, maybe if I have enough, I'll get 2 cameras. And the earphones, unless I can still use my earbuds, which I like better because I don't like those big things. Those are all the stuff I think I could probably buy on my own now. So I really appreciate it, and I'm really glad that I'm able to go forward on it. So thank you. So let's talk about Lindelof and Chinoy say they're making a Star Wars movie. Bob Chapek didn't say anything about it. Kareem Daniels hasn't said anything about it. Kathy Kennedy has said nothing. Now I'm going to say this. Seems to me like when Rejwan walked away or was fired. Oh yeah, you're right. Just some other guy. When Rejwan was fired, and she was, seems like the people at Lucasfilm that are on Kennedy's side are desperate to keep the woke shit coming. Put shit out there like this, like Rejwan walked away, and then you find out Harvey's former personal assistant says she added an electrical and camera person to the Acolyte. Matt Bellany says that show is still going forward. Okay. And then he adds, but after Rejwan left Lucasfilm, there are other executives getting ready to leave. This is where it gets intriguing. So we've got a Phantom Secret Squirrel movie being created by two people who shouldn't be anywhere near Star Wars. Then we've got Michelle Rejwan leaving, Matt Bellany mentioning it, and then saying other executives are leaving. And I'm going to say something, and this is a rule, chime in if you remember. Every time Bellany opens his mouth, something about Lucasfilm, something at Lucasfilm happens. Well, here's the deal. And this really kind of bothers me. I don't see Disney letting Jon Favreau go. I think he's probably on a contract and he can't. But there are a lot of black pills, and I saw him in chat last night on a different channel talking about Jon Favreau, and it really kind of pissed me off. Here's the deal. There are people in the community that say they love Star Wars, okay? They love it so much they want to kill it, okay? Watch you get used to that, because you're going to see a lot of that shit. And you're going to see these people when Kennedy finally announces she's retiring. And I honestly think now with Rejwan leaving and now Bellany dropping, more executives are about to leave Lucasfilm, that they're going to, these people that really were pushing this Favreau to go to DC, why would he go to DC? I really hate comic books and comic book fans who make it into some sort of thing are starting to bug me, right? As much as I love Superman, Christopher Reeves is the only Superman. Okay, that's it, in my opinion. And I don't need to see it anymore. I really don't think that these things are superheroes. It is. I mean, it really, really is. Look, if you love something so much that you end up hating it, and that's exactly what these people are doing, why should anybody take you seriously? Do you understand where I'm going? It's very odd to me seeing these people talk. But with other executives leaving, I mean, who could they be? Again, now, we've been fucked before. Well, that'll happen again. But if you go to Paulo Hidalgo's public account, he removed his employment at Lucasfilm. His employment, he says, is writer. If you look on his cover page, the only thing he's got that says any connection to Lucasfilm is his add-on name to Kenobi. That's it. Now, before anybody starts pulling their hair out and screaming Kenobi was bad because of that, all he did was add to the graffiti on the wall. Okay? That's it. When Kenobi's looking at the Jedi graffiti. Okay? That's it. And by law, and by the Writers Guild of America, which Pablo is proud of, yes, just some other guy, exactly. His name has to be on that. Even if he just wrote the letters THE and said, do it this way, he would get a credit. That's it. And money for it, okay? Every little bit. In fact, if you look at some of the movies that have come out, people who wrote a script and then it got demolished by another writer, you're going to see their names up there as writers. Okay, that is by law. Okay, doesn't mean they had anything to do with the finished product. Just like seeing Kennedy's name as executive producer doesn't mean she had any creative hold on the show. So when I looked at that, I'm like, really? Now, Hey, Maze, how you doing? Maze is in the house. So, what I'm saying is there's shit going down. Okay, Rejwan leaves, and you got Bellamy saying other executives are leaving. Now, where does he go wrong? Okay, where does he go wrong? He goes wrong with saying that the merchandise is selling. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you go to Valiant Renegade and hear what WDW Pro said from executives at the toy manufacturers telling him that they can't sell Star Wars and they can't sell Marvel now. That's a BFD. Okay. In fact, Star Wars, the brand, has gotten so blacklisted that sadly it's starting to hurt the OT, the prequels, the Clone Wars, and all the rest of that stuff. Okay. That's how bad this stuff is. And Marvel, we saw it when Shang-Chi came out and those toys were on clearance at Target before the movie came out. Okay. Bellamy says the merchandise is selling. No, it's not. Let's talk about how this goes. First off, Hasbro gets the characters, create the characters. And instead of them selling individual figures, they sell a block to Target or Walmart. Okay. And what they do is they will add sequel trilogy or a Reva, bunch of Revas to Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin's, Leia's, Han's, Luke's, Vader's, characters from Rogue One who actually sell all right. You'll see that happen. You'll go to the store and you'll see the shelves get picked clean of the characters people want. But the characters that are new, that are stupid, are not selling. I mean, Reva, I think, was actually on clearance here. No one wants it. No one wanted her lightsaber. No one. Okay. So we've got that. So he's wrong on that. Then he talks about the Lucasfilm making $6 billion. So they've paid for themselves. No, they haven't. And the number he used was gross profits, box office, and other things. Really? Really? Fake numbers? That's what gross is. Gross box office is a number that really doesn't exist. If you're talking about pure profit, okay? Gross profits are things that don't exist, okay? Because you've got taxes, you've got merchants, you've got all this stuff going on. And at the end, what's left over is your profit. So what I conclude is, I would say that based on what I've, just the part of anecdotal evidence, and also part of looking at the box office, that they probably not broken even. They're probably $1 billion short, maybe $2 billion short. Okay, so, but look, I tell you guys right now, Hollywood people like using fake numbers. And when you get someone who's a numbers analyst like the Mexican Iron Man or Valiant Renegade up there saying, no, that's not what they made. You will have even black pills arguing. Because again, people out there, shills and black pills, need the numbers to be real so they can run with it. They can get clicks. Well, I really hate the fact that people use death as a way to talk about where Star Wars is. It's kind of overreacting and it's overreaching and it's clickbait. So I don't use it and it kind of pisses me off to the point where I get kind of mad. Maze is like, yeah, she gets mad, don't do that. The reason why is because you can't kill a franchise. it can go dormant. It can sit on the shelf for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, but you can't kill it. Star Wars will always have people interested, okay? It will always have people going, oh, cool. You know, what people don't want is what, right now, what they're getting in Andor. Look, I just saw a Star Wars shill complaining about basically people being brutally honest about the Nielsen numbers for Andor, that it's tracking far below Kenobi. Okay, first off, no one likes Cassian Andor. No one gives a shit. All right, let's be honest. Second of all, the show is slow. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's starting to feel a little bit more like Star Wars, and yet people aren't watching. And the reason why people aren't watching is because the people that are creating these things don't love what they're doing. Okay. I've always talked about apathy versus passion. Kenobi, there was a lot of love in Kenobi. But because of the way the fans have been treated since 2013 and the way that they've handled the Kennedy situation has turned people away. There's a lot going on here. Boba Fett wasn't received well, and I think the reason why is because it was a script that wasn't handled right, the wrong director, and he should have done a good job. But I do believe that people that were working on Kennedy's behalf, Michelle Rejwan, she is one of the executive producers, meddled while Jon Favreau was away. Okay. And I think part of the reason why Rejwan now stepped down is because Favreau said, get the fuck out of here. I want her gone. Okay. She, you know, my thing is this. Kenobi was a better show than Boba Fett. It was. Boba Fett had a lot of good to it. But when you're talking about Star Wars fans, you're not talking about to people who actually know anything about movies. Really, next to nothing. You bring up A Man Called Horse, and they stupidly bring up Dances with Wolves, which are completely different stories. Completely different. Okay. They've never seen A Man Called Horse. If they had, they'd probably be bored because it's not the kind of movie that someone who likes watching pretty pictures and action would understand. But it is about an English lord who gets captured by a band of Lakota in Wyoming, and he ends up being part of the tribe. That's what the Book of Boba Fett, at least part of it, was. But Dances with Wolves was an easy shiv, an easy thing to call it. And that has nothing, that the stories are not alike at all, okay? But it was an easy way to bash it. And it's too bad, all right, because there was some good to it. Interesting is that Wednesday we are going to get Tales of the Jedi. All 6 episodes are going to drop. The first one is 17 minutes long. We're going to have, this will be cool. This will be fun. We'll have that and the 8th episode of Andor. Okay. So there is stuff out there. The problem, though, and I look at it as a problem marketing and name. If fans that are predisposed to knee-jerk reactions, not understanding carrot of the stick, and fans that don't understand that just because don't understand how Hollywood works, how the guilds and the unions work. They see Kathleen Kennedy's name on a show like Andor, like Kenobi, and they won't tune in. And they actually, I mean, yesterday someone said, you didn't just want Lucasfilm to burn. This is how hateful they are now. They wanted Disney to burn. So there's a group of fans out there who want hundreds of thousands of people to lose their jobs in Florida, in California, Tokyo, and in France, and in Shanghai, which the CCP had just taken, because they're so personally offended by something. First off, this is where my channel is going to be different. I will call you out if you do that. I will call you out. That is unjustifiable anger. This is never about these people, okay? Stop making it about you, all right? The fans have been treated like shit. We are in a transition period now. If a show is good, say it's good. Carrot. If the show sucks, or part of it sucks, or bash them over the head with a kugel. If you want Kathleen Kennedy gone, let them know. If you go to the parks, you see someone like Bob Chapek walking around, say, hey, why hasn't Kathleen Kennedy gone? Left yet? Why is she still here? And he will say, well, we really like her. He'll give you a bullshit answer. But he heard it from you. Don't sit there and insist that a 100-year-old entity, an American brand, has to burn to make you happy. The problem we have is narcissism. And it's on both sides. So stop it. Here's the deal. When Matt Bellany said there are other executives getting ready to leave and he didn't iterate who they were, my ears perked up. And I took screenshots of the whole article he wrote. Sent him to Andre. Hopefully he's talking about him now. But when I'm done here, I'm going to go to Midnight's Edge. Sent him to Andre. The whole article, and I'm hoping Cameron goes and does a Patreon about it. The whole article is about Kennedy's incompetence. Her being in over her head. Her, in not so many words, subtext, not being a good studio head. And that was it. That was the article. Okay. So anyway, I gotta go. I'm going to go to the grocery store because there's stuff we forgot yesterday. Cream for the coffee and some sweetener. Rudy takes the fake sweetener or whatever. I don't drink sugar in my coffee. I think it's gross. So I gotta go. But you guys have a good afternoon. I'm gonna be in the chat on Midnight's Edge, driving around doing my errands. So want to talk to you guys about this. Hopefully Cameron will post something, because I did forward him the email with the whole article, because it was in the email. This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.